NBA All-Star Weekend from Indianapolis, which means Tyrese Halliburton gets an opportunity to go after that MVP. Very coveted prize between All-Stars in our league. And Halliburton set the pace as he was representing for the squad. Halliburton nailing 3 after 3. He's on fire. It's Tyrese behind the back to the Eastern Conference captain, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Speaking of captains, nobody's been the captain more than this dude. 20 times around, he's been an all-star. It's LeBron James throwing it down with his signature tomahawk. Damian Lillard, known for the 3, trust and believe, he was just getting started. He made 11 threes in this one. How about Donovan Mitchell off one leg? A little don't mind if I do. We're still in the first half. It's 77-62, PG 1-3 with the perfectly placed bounce pass to number 23, who throws down the dunk. Dame Dollar still shooting, still making. Trae Young is going to get really low and nutmeg Kevin Durant with a little now you see me, and then now you don't. Young got the late snub after the injury bug hit Julius Randle. That's an all-star level play. Karl Anthony Towns took his play to the next level in the second half of this game. More on him in a second. But again, we're still in the first half as Dame puts the East up 91-77. It's Halliburton out the corner. Didn't get that all-star game MVP. He did have 32 points. Can't forget about the chef. Was cooking against Sabrina on Saturday, nails the 3 on Sunday. Then the easy money sniper, Durant, trying to help bring the West back in the third. But it's too many threes from the East. Tatum extends their lead to 24. It's Lillard from half court. Oh, that's how you feel, huh? Oh, you keeping it real, huh? Dame Dollar putting his first half season woes behind him. How about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? He had a great first half of the season. He goes off the glass to himself. Jaylen Brown like, nah, I did all my dunking in the dunk contest. I'm not going to get dunked on. And then here's Brown actually throwing it down with the right. He used the left in the All-Star game. And from there, Karl Anthony Towns said, may I have this dance? With nobody defending him, Cat just decided to go crazy. How about 31 points in the fourth quarter for Cat? The West was just like, all right, if you want to do it, then do it. He scored 50, but he was not the MVP because this dude got those honors. It's Lillard from half court putting the East up 211-186, and that is your final score from the 2024 NBA All-Star Game from Indianapolis. If you are like me and love flexing your NBA knowledge, you should head over to the best place to play fantasy sports. That's Underdog Fantasy. For me, I love the pick'em game. It's super simple to play too. All you got to do is go to the Underdog Fantasy website or app, pick whether a player will have a higher or lower stat line for that game, get all your picks right, and you can win up to 20 times your money. And when you sign up, if you use my code Pharaoh, your deposit will get doubled. You can't beat that. Again, head over to today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy's website or app, use my code Pharaoh, and your first deposit will get doubled. Okay, that was not good. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be clear with you guys. It is an honor and privilege to cover the game of basketball for you guys, night in, night out of the season. That probably was the worst All-Star game I have ever seen in my entire life. I won't say the worst All-Star weekend, which even you could probably argue that, but definitively, that was the worst All-Star game I have ever seen in my entire life. Number one, obviously the elephant in the room is guys like LeBron, KD, they're getting older. Steph gave it a pretty good go, but LeBron and KD did not. So you're missing out on LeBron and KD. You look around the court, one of the things that was really missing this year, since we adopted the East versus West model again for this year's game, no captains picking squads, you really didn't have any rivalries. And even though the Eastern Conference won, I mean, all the legends were for the most part on the West. And that the fact that we didn't split those teams up, which I'm going to be fair to Adam Silver and anybody responsible for All-Star Weekend, over the last couple years, I have been one of the guys saying, let's just go back to the East versus West. I didn't like the captains thing. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't for me. But looking at East versus West, even though the Eastern Conference won, it was kind of like a backhanded win, right? And what I mean by that is, yes, the East won, but the West got all the legends on it that just didn't want to play big minutes. So when you look around, especially with the Eastern Conference missing Joel Embiid, the reigning regular season MVP, you look at the West, you look up, it's Steph, first ballot Hall of Famer, LeBron, obviously first ballot Hall of Famer, Kevin Durant, obviously first ballot Hall of Famer, Nikola Jokic, probably the game's best player right now, definitely already a first ballot Hall of Famer. You look around, Kawhi Leonard's going to end up being a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm just going off the top of the head. Anthony Davis is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Luka Doncic is going to end up being a first ballot Hall of Famer. Paul George is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, this is just off the top of the dome, right? Like the West had nothing but legends up and down that roster. And when you look over at the East, you got some great players. Giannis is obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer. Jason Tatum's going to end up being a first ballot Hall of Famer. You look around, though. You look around. Jaylen Brown might be a Hall of Famer one day. Jalen Brunson having a great run right now. He's not a Hall of Famer today. If his career ended right now, he's not a Hall of Famer today. Trae Young, one of my favorites, not a Hall of Famer today. As great as he's been, he's not a Hall of Famer today. I mean, just and you could go do that with the East and West. You could do that all day. The fact that there were no storylines with this game, the way it was currently constructed, it hurt. It hurt the product a lot. And it gets me to, how do you fix this game? I'm going to give y'all my short answer. I don't know. There's so many barometers and so many different elements to that make it a much more difficult question to answer than let's make the boys play harder. That ain't the way you go about it, because we don't want these dudes playing too hard and somebody gets hurt. I saw Stephen A. Smith say something on First Take. Y'all know I got the endless amount of love for Stephen A. When I was at ESPN, that brother treated me like he had knew me for 15, 20 years. He treated me like a nephew. So I got love for Stephen A. But he blamed LeBron James for the slam dunk contest that's no longer a watchable entity in All-Star Weekend. Stephen A. said they just need to do away with All-Star Weekend. Michael Jordan participated in the contest 3 times. It stopped being the dunk contest when LeBron James said, I'm not doing it. Listen, LeBron has been the face of the league for a very long time, and I'm sure LeBron understands a lot of responsibility comes with that. You can complain about the minute stuff with LeBron James all you want. The brother's been a damn good face of the NBA. And for Stephen A. just to blame LeBron for everything wrong with the dunk contest, which means everything wrong with All-Star Weekend, I think it's disgusting. You doing that Dana White thing again, Stephen A., and I love you, Unc. But come on, bro. I'm watching Nikola Jokic, the best player in the world, miss layups in the All-Star game. I don't think I've ever seen Jokic miss a layup in a game. Ever. Luka Doncic, a couple weeks ago, scored 73 points on the Hawks. Hell, the All-Star defense was just like the Hawks. He can't go out and get me 12 points? Does LeBron deserve some culpability? Yes. But to me, it's another lazy take from the media to just always blame LeBron, because in their world, it's an easy day of work to just always use LeBron as their top first hour content, as their top talking point of the season, as their top talking point of the year. That's what the media has been with basketball, and it's lazy. And if we're going to take it a step further, again, as somebody that worked at ESPN, that's why Stephen A. struggled a long time post Skip Bayless. And listen, you ain't heard me say nothing about the struggles, because Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp are figuring it out. First Take ratings through the roof. Great. They figured it out despite, not having that Dallas Cowboy antagonist, which I thought would be a concern. Give Stephen A. the ultimate credit for going and co-signing Shannon Sharp, who is hot as fish grease right now in every facet of the culture. Give him credit for that. But there was a struggle period, because Stephen A., though Skip Bayless got all the blame for a lot of that Dallas Cowboy content, that LeBron James content, like, look at the show after Skip left. Stephen A still was on those waves. It's always easy to blame LeBron for everything because he's been the driving force of the sport. Listen, if me and you go watch ESPN First Take, obviously we may want a little deep dive of a more deep dive of a conversation. But for the casual fan, if my mama watching First Take, she just want to hear about LeBron. That's pretty much all she knows. She only knows maybe LeBron and Steph, maybe. She doesn't watch basketball like that. So it's easy. It's a cop-out to always blame LeBron. But in a conversation this intricate, let's not be irresponsible with our platforms here. And Stephen A's got a massive one. This is not one of the ones where you can just talk about LeBron scoring 30 points and missing a game winner last night against the Portland Trailblazers. I'm good with all that. This is a real conversation, though. Like, you're blaming this man for everything that's went wrong with All-Star Weekend when he legit has the most points in All-Star Weekend history. He's been there more than anybody. So nobody deserves any culpability for All-Star Weekend. I don't think that's fair. And I give LeBron credit. After the game, he at least spoke out about All-Star Weekend. He said that's something I think we need to figure out. Obviously, from a player's perspective, it's fun to get up and down, but at the end of the day, our competitive nature don't like to have a free-flowing scoring game like that. But I think the good thing that came out of tonight's game was none of our players were injured and everybody came out unscathed on how they were before the game. So it's a deeper conversation. LeBron even went as far as to say, actually, I think some of what's happening in the All-Star game is actually starting to happen in the games that we're playing throughout the season, which I thought was a very interesting talking point. Look, you want to blame LeBron for minute things. Okay, he didn't do the dunk contest. Okay, LeBron sometimes tweets about his players at the trade deadline. LeBron over cares about his legacy in regards to Michael Jordan. Some arrogance in that. I'm good with all that stuff. But I'm not blaming this man for All-Star Weekend. Literally, when I think about the last 15, 20 years of All-Star Weekend, for the most part, it's LeBron, it's some Kobe, it's some Shaq. I don't think this is the area where LeBron deserves the most blame for. Y'all let me know, if you had the opportunity to fix All-Star Weekend, what would you do? Now, a few of my friends have sent me some ideas. I'm not going to read all of their ideas, but I'll just tell you quickly, some through 3v3 ideas out there for me. Instead of doing the game on Sunday, I had friends hit me and say, yo, you need if you are an all-star, you got to participate in all the other challenges. I really like the Steph Curry, Sabrina three-point shootout was my favorite moment of the weekend. I think you got something there, Adam. Maybe keep doing that in different variations. The WNBA is going to get Caitlin Clark down the line here. Y'all let me know what y'all do to fix All-Star Weekend. That dunk show is ridiculous, though. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple, to be the best there's ever been. So, please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories. I talk music. I cover sports. I am culture. I am Pharaoh.